Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking into, well, Elon Musk's supposed $12,000 Tesla house.
It certainly got everyone talking, that's for sure.
Yeah, it really has.
Right.
Our main source for this deep dive is a YouTube video that I found, and the title's pretty bold, I have to say. Elon Musk,
What?
I am releasing Tesla's new $12,000 house for 2025 from the channel Voyager.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this video claims to have all the details on this, revolutionary house, and we're going to break it down.
Okay, sound good.
So right away, the video focuses on Musk's vision for this whole thing to make sustainable living accessible to everyone.
That's a big claim.
It is, especially considering how expensive eco-friendly housing can be.
Yeah, and it kind of goes against the traditional housing market when you think about it.
Right.
Affordability and sustainability are usually competing priorities, but Musk seems to be aiming for both.
Yeah, that's ambitious.
Yeah, this could be a real game changer, especially if he can actually do what he's saying he will.
Yeah, if he can deliver.
Right, exactly. So speaking of ambitious, the video jumps into the design of the house.
Oh, okay.
It's described as having a sleek and modern exterior with a steel frame and insulated panels for energy efficiency. And get this, they're supposedly using Tesla's signature solar glass roof tiles.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Integrating solar tech right into the building materials is a smart move.
Yeah.
Not only does it help with the energy efficiency,
Right.
but it also makes the design look better and might even lower costs, potentially.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The video also mentions a water recycling system, and this is supposed to cut water consumption by 50%. Wow. I'll be honest, I'm a bit skeptical about how that would work in practice.
Yeah, I mean, the video doesn't give specifics,
Right.
but water recycling tech has come a long way in recent years.
Yeah.
Like now, there are systems that can filter and purify gray water.
Okay.
So that's the water from sinks and showers, right?
Yeah.
They can purify that to a point where it's safe to use for non-drinking purposes,
Okay.
like flushing toilets
Hmm.
or watering your plants.
That makes sense.
So it's not out of the question, really.
So it sounds like they're really focusing on self-sufficiency and minimizing that environmental impact, right?
So that's right.
What else does the video say about the features?
Well, they talk about having multifunctional furniture, which is a typical tiny house thing.
Oh, okay.
Like transforming sofas or tables that turn into desks.
Right.
Everything's designed to make the most of the space.
Right.
They also mentioned a compact kitchen, small, but with everything you need and all energy-efficient appliances.
So it's like they're taking the best of minimalist design
Yeah, exactly.
and adding the newest tech.
Yeah, and that's where it gets really interesting to me.
Okay.
The video talks about the tech integration, which, coming from Tesla, you'd expect it to be pretty impressive.
Okay, I'm all ears. What kind of tech are we talking about?
Well, apparently, you can control almost everything in a house through the Tesla app. Lighting, temperature, security systems.
Really?
Even the HVAC is like the one in their cars. Super clean air circulation inside.
Wow, so it's like a smart home on steroids.
Uh-huh. Yeah, something like that.
It makes me wonder about data privacy.
Right.
Like, if everything's connected to the internet and can be controlled through an app,
Yeah.
what's stopping someone from hacking in?
That's a valid point. And as smart homes become more common, we need to be more aware of that.
Yeah.
Security is crucial.
Right.
Companies need to make sure they're using strong encryption and ways to protect your data
Right.
to guarantee people's safety and privacy.
Absolutely. So moving on, the video also mentions something about connecting the house to the smart grid.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, that's like a modern electrical grid that uses digital tech to be more efficient and reliable.
Right. And with this connection, homeowners can see how much energy they're using in real time.
Okay.
They can optimize their consumption and can even sell any extra energy back to the grid so they could actually offset their energy costs.
So you're turning your house into a mini power plant.
Exactly.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that is cool. But wait, it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
This Tesla house is designed to go off-grid entirely.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
It is.
It definitely plays into that whole trend of self-sufficiency
Right.
and reducing reliance on traditional infrastructure.
Yeah.
But let's break down what that actually means.
Yeah, let's dig into that.
Okay.
How do they propose to make this house off-grid?
They talk about using the solar roof, the Tesla Powerwall battery system,
Okay.
and a rainwater collection system for water.
Hmm.
Plus, they even include a composting system to handle organic waste.
It sounds like they've thought of everything.
Yeah.
It's like a self-contained ecosystem.
It kind of is.
Do you think this whole off-grid concept is actually feasible?
Can a house really be completely independent? Well, with the improvements in solar power and energy storage, I think it's doable to a large extent.
But it really depends on a few things.
Like what?
Well, your location,
Hmm.
the climate, and how much energy you use.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Exactly. It's important to be realistic about these claims.
Yeah.
Off-grid living is becoming more achievable, but you need to plan carefully, manage your resources,
Right?
and often be ready to adapt to a different way of life.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So we've covered the sustainable design, the tech, the off-grid capabilities,
Yeah.
but there's one more thing from the video that I have to mention.
Okay.
This house can be towed by a Cybertruck or any other vehicle that can handle it.
Oh, wow. The traveling house.
Right.
They say it's lightweight and has a low center of gravity to make it easy to transport.
Yeah,
It's a really interesting concept,
it is.
and it opens up so many possibilities.
Right. Imagine taking your house on an adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But on a more serious note, think about how this could change how we think about housing.
Yeah.
The ability to just move your home so easily could be a big deal. It could change how we live, work, and even respond to emergencies. Imagine the potential for nomadic living, working remotely, or even disaster relief housing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like taking the tiny house movement to a whole new level.
It really is.
Yeah, it really could. And then there's the price tag, $12,000.
Right. That's what's got everyone talking.
It's less than some new cars.
Yeah, forget a traditional house.
Exactly.
That's an unbelievably low price, and that's what makes this so disruptive.
Yeah.
Could this actually be the key to homeownership for more people?
It could be, especially for, younger generations who are dealing with student loans and rising housing costs.
Yeah.
This price could make owning a home possible for people who never thought they could afford it.
Yeah, it's almost hard to believe. $12,000, it sounds like a dream.
It does. But could they actually build enough of these and still keep the price that low?
Right. Could Tesla actually produce these on a mass scale?
That's the big question, isn't it? Scaling up production without compromising quality or increasing costs is going to be a huge challenge.
Yeah.
It'll take new manufacturing techniques, efficient supply chains,
Right.
maybe even new ways of getting materials.
Yeah. There's a lot to think about.
A lot of moving parts.
And what about land?
Well, that's another thing.
Even if the houses are affordable, finding land that's also affordable is tough.
It is, especially in places where there's already a housing shortage.
Yeah.
Land is a limited resource, and its cost plays a big role in housing affordability.
Right.
We might need some creative solutions here.
Like what?
Maybe looking at different models of land ownership, or working with local governments to make land available for these kinds of projects.
Okay, those are good points. So it's clear there are challenges even beyond the design and tech of the house.
Definitely.
But let's shift gears for a second and talk about the bigger picture.
Okay.
The video mentions entire Tesla tiny house communities with shared green spaces, community gardens, and even microgrids to share energy between houses.
Now that's an interesting idea.
Right.
It's not just about individual homes.
Yeah.
It's about a whole new way of living. A community focused on sustainability, sharing resources, and having a smaller impact on the environment.
It almost sounds utopian.
It does, but could it actually work?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Building a community from scratch is complex. There are bound to be difficulties along the way.
Yeah.
But I think the idea itself is worth exploring.
Okay.
It taps into this growing desire for community and a sense of purpose. People are looking for alternatives to the isolation of modern life.
Right.
And these types of communities might offer a different way of being.
I can see the appeal, for sure. But before we get too carried away, we should address the potential downsides.
Yeah, you're right.
The things the video doesn't really talk about.
We need to be realistic and consider the challenges.
Yeah.
One thing that comes to mind is the environmental impact of mass production.
Oh.
Even if the houses are made with sustainable materials, building them on a large scale will have some environmental consequences.
That's a really important point. And what about the limitations of a $12,000 house?
Yeah.
Can it really accommodate different types of families or people with accessibility needs?
Those are good questions.
Yeah.
One size fits all rarely works when it comes to housing.
Right.
This design would need to be adaptable and flexible to meet the needs of a variety of people.
So, while the concept is exciting, there are practical things to consider and potential drawbacks to address.
For sure, it's about finding a balance.
Yeah.
Pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo is great, but you have to be aware of the consequences. We have to make sure that new solutions are inclusive and benefit everyone.
finding that balance between innovation and responsibility.
Exactly.
What stands out to you most about this video?
Hmm.
For me, it's just the sheer ambition of it all, trying to reimagine housing from the ground up.
I agree. The ambition is impressive. What I find really interesting is the potential for this to have a ripple effect.
Oh, okay.
If Tesla can actually create a sustainable, affordable, and desirable home,
Yeah.
it could force other companies in the housing market to improve what they're doing.
So it could drive innovation across the whole industry.
Exactly. And it shows how one company's ideas can have a much wider impact,
Yeah.
pushing boundaries and inspiring others to think differently.
This deep dive has given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
It's amazing how one YouTube video can lead to such a wide-ranging conversation.
It is, isn't it? And that's the beauty of exploring these topics.
Right.
You go beyond the surface, dig deeper, and uncover the complexities.
Absolutely, but it's important to remember we're basing this whole discussion on one source, that YouTube video.
That's right. And while it seems to be based on real information, we should always be a bit skeptical
Yeah.
and look for other sources to get the full picture.
I agree completely. Okay, so we've covered a lot,
We have.
but there's one more thing from the video I want to mention.
Hmm.
Okay, they say that Musk actually bought a foldable home for $50,000
Oh, right.
from a company called Boxable.
Yeah, the Boxable connection.
It's interesting they brought that up.
It is.
It seems like there might be some link there,
Yeah.
maybe in terms of manufacturing or technology. It definitely adds another layer to this story.
It does.
Do you think this Boxable house could be a stepping stone to the $12,000 Tesla house?
Possibly. It could be a way for Tesla to test things out.
Okay.
Try out some manufacturing processes or learn about the foldable home market before they launch their own product.
It's fascinating how these different ideas and companies are all connected.
It really is.
It shows how quickly things are changing in this space.
And I also mentioned that Musk bought a Boxable prototype in South Texas.
Oh, really? Why is that important?
Well, Tesla has that gigafactory in Texas.
Right.
So it could mean that Texas might be where they manufacture these houses too.
Maybe we'll see entire Tesla communities popping up around those gigafactories.
That would be something to see. It fits with Musk's vision of creating sustainable ecosystems. Where energy, transportation, and housing are all linked together.
Right. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're still early in this whole thing, and who knows what will happen.
Exactly. It's all speculation right now.
It is, but that's part of what makes it so interesting.
I agree.
It's like watching these ideas develop and seeing what actually becomes reality.
It's like watching a seed grow. You never know exactly what you'll get.
Yeah, there's always an element of surprise.
And that's exciting.
Okay, so we've talked about the vision, the design, the tech, the potential impact, the challenges, and even the broader cultural stuff.
We have.
But one thing we haven't really touched on is the release date.
Right.
The video says the Tesla house is going to be on the market in 2025.
Yeah, 2025. That might seem far off.
Sure.
But in the world of innovation, that's right around the corner.
So the countdown is on. I gotta ask, are you as excited about this as I am?
Uh-huh. I mean, imagine the headlines. Tesla shakes up housing market. Affordable, sustainable living. Finally. The future is here, and it's small.
Haha, exactly.
I am intrigued. It'll be interesting to see if Tesla can actually meet that deadline,
Yeah.
and if the final product lives up to all the hype.
Yeah, I'm definitely eager to see how this all plays out. Who knows? Maybe they'll even have like a deep dive edition of the Tesla house,
Okay.
complete with a built-in podcasting studio powered by solar energy.
Now that would be something.
It would. But seriously, I think this deep dive has shown us that the future of housing is anything but predictable.
It really is. And it's exciting to be a part of it.
Totally. It's been a wild ride so far.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling it's only going to get wilder. But for now, I think we've covered pretty much everything there is to know about this mysterious Tesla house.
I think so. We've looked at it from all angles.
We have, from the technical specs to how it could impact society, we haven't missed a thing.
Right.
So to our listeners, we say, keep your eyes open and stay curious.
The future of housing is happening right now.
It is.
And it's going to be fascinating to watch it all unfold. Until next time, happy deep diving.